After one of the most intriguing off seasons in franchise history, the Steelers begin their quest for a 7th Super Bowl tonight in Jacksonville. Several new players will make their debut, including a rookie class that has shined during training camp. Many new faces and new places for the Steelers, and we'll be giving you all the information you need right here on BetMGM Steelers Kickoff. Here's a look at where those guys will be kicking off in just about 30 minutes. Everbank Stadium right in the heart of downtown Jacksonville on a steamy mid-August night. And we have a familiar face to many fans making his black and gold return. Mason Rudolph there, and Captain Cam Hayward in the building with the shades looking cool. We cannot wait for the action. Welcome, everybody. Football is back. I am AJ Ross, and I'm so excited to join you for another preseason with a new teammate, a familiar face to many, former offensive lineman Ramon Foster, a.k.a. the Big Ragu.
Yes.
We've been getting familiarized with each other. You haven't given me the recipe to the secret sauce yet, though.
Soon enough, AJ. The first time around, not yet. Next week, I got you on the recipe, okay?
Well, for those who don't know, what have you been up to since you hung up the cleats?
A lot. I retired just to get busy, so I've been coaching my sons. I also have a radio show in Nashville that I also do too, and just a lot of stuff in and around the league. I have a podcast that I've been doing for a little while now, and just being a dad. Got a lot of time on my hand, but it gets filled up super fast, is what I'm telling you. From Monday now through Sunday, I'm doing a lot. And also, I am the color analyst for the University of Tennessee football team too. So this fall, my Saturdays will be filled, so I'm super excited about that too.
You've been booked and busy.
I have.
We're excited to have you. It's been a busy offseason for the Steelers, making a lot of headlines. Of course, the addition of Aaron Rodgers, a huge headline across the nation, really. He's not going to be making his debut tonight, but this is a guy that's going into his 21st NFL season. I want to ask you, from a leadership perspective, what does he bring to this locker room?
I would tell you he brings a sense of calm more than anything. When you have a guy like him that's been through a lot, has seen a lot, the ups and downs, the highs of highs, but winning the Super Bowl, there's not much that he will be surprised by when you're dealing with a guy like him. He's in a position to where he can just guide guys more than anything, and how he goes about his day-to-day. I was talking to a couple of guys last night and just saying he's in a position to where you see when he first get to camp, he's just chill, and as each day, each week goes by, you see him somewhat amp up, and that's the type of stuff that you get with a guy that's seen, at this point, everything. So I'm excited to see when he does put the pads on, what he looks like, how this team responds to him too, because this isn't just a rookie. This is one of those guys. Coach Tomlin has this phrase that he uses, hey, walk and go jacket. He's one of those guys.
A pro's pro for sure. Well, we won't see Aaron tonight. We are going to see some other faces on the field under center, and for more on that, we're going to send it up to the guys in the booth, Bob Pompeani and Charlie Batch, to take the coverage from here.
All right, AJ, the Big Ragu, good to have you. And it's nice to be here as we get set for another football season. And yeah, no Aaron Rodgers tonight. No Will Howard tonight, Charlie. And that's something we were all looking forward to, because he came here after winning a national championship, a good training camp. He won't. But Mason Rudolph gets the start, and he's very familiar with this franchise.
Yes, he is. In 2023, we all know 3 games down the stretch to get them into the playoffs. He thought he would be the starter. Didn't happen in 2024. Moved his services to Tennessee. But he's back here in Pittsburgh. The organization is excited for bringing him back. He gets the opportunity to start here. Has 18 starts under his belt. And I know he's looking right now to solidify that backup position, which he's done thus far. Now he's just trying to prove it in stadium.
And last time we saw him in Pittsburgh, he had 3 straight wins down the stretch to get the Steelers into the playoffs, where he hit 74% of his passes, along with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they went into a wild card game against Buffalo. So he did a very good job in crunch time. Now, as far as who plays after him, it's going to be Skylar Thompson. And those of you who follow the NFL know he's a familiar face. He's been with Miami after being a 7th-round pick. He actually got them to a playoff one year with all the injuries they had to Tagovailoa as well as Teddy Bridgewater. He got in there, and we're going to see him tonight, and he's had experience in game.
Yes, he has. You just mentioned about the playoffs. He was a rookie during that season, so he was able to play in a playoff game. He has 3 starts under his belt. He has played in 10 regular season games, so we're eager to see what he's going to bring to the table here today, as he's going to get a chance to follow up Mason Rudolph. We don't know how long he's going to play, but we expect to see him a lot.
Yeah, they also brought in Logan Woodside, who is somebody who's been around the NFL. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but he's on the roster here in the meantime with the injury to Will Howard. As far as the wide receivers, this is going to be a big item tonight. You're not going to see DK Metcalf. You won't see Calvin Austin. He's been injured. But you will see a lot of guys who need to make a statement. And on top of that list would be Roman Wilson, number 10. Robert Woods, a veteran. Scotty Miller always seems to make plays. But I think the emphasis tonight is on number 10, Charlie.
It really is. Yeah, redshirt rookie season essentially last year because of the injury. So he's expediting that learning curve. And he's been working a lot with Aaron Rodgers. So we expect to see him a lot at the wide receiver position. We don't know how much at the return game. But either way, they want to see him evolve in this offense from the receiving standpoint to see if he can separate himself to hopefully overtake that number 2 receiver.
Yeah, you saw Robert Woods there. He's going to be active tonight. He's been around this league for a long time, had some good seasons. All right, let's talk about the other side of the football, and that would be defensive backs, because they've brought in a whole bunch of new people here as well as this roster went through a makeover. 5 new starters on defense. When you take a look at some of the big names, you won't see them tonight. Joey Porter Jr., he's not going to be in there. Jalen Ramsey will not be in there, and Darius Slay. But they have a lot of guys who are looking to make a statement here, and they're going to have to do that because limited opportunities on that roster.
There is, and you see Benny Bishop here. This is a guy out of West Virginia, had a really good rookie season. This guy's looking to take the next step as he's learning from those veteran guys, specifically Jalen Warren on the backside. But the one position that I really want to see is going to be that safety position. Of course, we lost Micah Fitzpatrick in that trade, but again, Juan Thornhill is going to step into that into this position, and we're going to see how much of communication he's able to elevate in that back end to make sure he holds the coverage together.
One thing about this defense, they should be on attack mode. They got a lot of guys who can cover people down the field, a lot of different position flexibility. That should help them as the season rolls along. That's a view from the booth. Let's send it right back down to AJ and the Big Ragu.
Thanks so much, guys. Well, again, a lot of attention has been paid to Aaron Rodgers, but a lot of vets were actually added to this roster during the offseason. Take a look here at this list of names. Aaron, yes, but Darius Slay, Robert Woods, Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and DK Metcalf. Ramon, what kind of presence, experience, football IQ do these collective guys bring to this roster?
AJ, more than anything, it just sets the precedent for what window they are in more than anything. You don't go get these types of guys if you're just trying to win a couple of games. These guys are in a position where they've been around the NFL for a very long time. Pittsburgh has a winning culture, and Coach Tomlin like to say a standard. The standard is the standard, and those types of guys are in a position where they can help this team right now. And I feel like when you go get an Aaron Rodgers, a Jonnu Smith, a Jalen Ramsey, and trades, that signifies to the rest of the NFL that this is our shot right here. Along with guys like Cameron Hayward and also T.J. Watt, there's a long list of guys in this locker room that we're looking for assistance and trying to maximize the moment right now. So I'm excited to see what they do throughout this year.
And we know the fans are excited as well. And every year we like to get you, the fans, involved in our show. And that takes us to a segment with South College where we ask a question every year. What position group are you most excited to watch? Post your comments on social media using the hashtag SteelersNation, and we may feature it on our broadcast tonight. The social media posts are presented by South College, proud partner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as you can see on our People's Natural Gas countdown to kickoff clock, we are just about 20 minutes away from the first game action of 2025. People's Natural Gas, an essential utilities company. When we come back, Missy Matthews sits down with the newest field general here in Pittsburgh, the one and only Aaron Rodgers. MGM Steelers Kickoff is presented in part by Schley Deck Company. We keep things simple, affordable, reliable. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Aaron Rodgers signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers was easily the biggest headline in the NFL this offseason. But since training camp, it has been all about football. Rodgers sat down one-on-one with our Missy Matthews.
Aaron, being here at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, what has this experience been like for you? I'd say it's a bit of a throwback for me just because we did this same concept for 14 years in Green Bay. We stayed at St. Norbert's, and it gives you the opportunity to actually really connect with your teammates because there's nowhere to go. You know, we're stuck here at the dorms. It's just really fun, whether it's card playing or I'm not a gamer, but, you know, all these kids are video gamers, so just, you know, getting to spend time with these guys is pretty cool.
Is there anything about a Steelers training camp, practice, or environment that surprises you?
It's definitely harder than some of the camps I've been in the past. I hadn't been a part of tackling in practice for a long time. I just like the professional environment. You know, it starts with Mike and his expectations for the tempo of practice and the professionalism. That's been really fun to see.
A lot of your new teammates have said that you're very calm in the huddle, so crack a joke at the same time, but you also have a very high standard for the attention to detail. How do you balance that, and when did you become really good at that?
I think it's a learned trait for sure. It starts with a mastery of the system. Then you can know what everybody's doing on every play. The game is played with reactions, and so I don't want guys thinking out there. I want guys to have a mastery of the system and then to go out and use their God-given ability just to react to what they see. So I just always want the guys to be locked in at the same time. You know, this is a kid's game, so we should be having fun out here. We should be able to crack some jokes and rib each other and stuff like that. So just that's a part of the getting to know your teammates, part which guys you can get on and tease about certain things. You know, some guys are wired super tight. Those are the easiest. You know, some guys are more loose, and so you got to find a way to connect to them and find a way to have some sort of personal one-on-one with every player in order to kind of build that relationship.
Thanks, Missy. And if you want to see the full interview, check out Steelers' YouTube page. We talked briefly, Ramon, about what Rodgers brings from a leadership perspective. We could spend the next 20 minutes talking about his long resume, but what does he bring that elevates this offense?
He brings a sense of validation more than anything. When you see a guy him on the field, it makes you just better. It's not a situation he hadn't been in, and more than anything, when the guys hear him speak, they respect it, and when they respect you, you'll give you all for it. He mentioned it a second ago in his sit-down with Missy Matthews. It's the idea that he knows how to approach guys. He knows what guys need what, and the other side of that is the expectation that those guys have from him. When you're catching the pass from one of the greats, you don't want to let those guys down, and the ownership of you being a great teammate is one of the best things you can do, and I think Aaron Rodgers brings that to this team at a moment where they absolutely need it, because there is a lot of youth. The guys up front have to grow up, and the wide receivers will have some questions about him at certain positions, and that's what he can do. He can settle those guys.
4-time MVP, 10-time Pro Bowler. He doesn't have anything to prove, but there are a lot of guys that do have something to prove. So we're introducing a new segment called The Window of Opportunity, and it is sponsored appropriately by Pella Windows. Pella, viewed to be the best. Tonight, let's focus on rookie outside linebacker Jack Sawyer. He was the team's 4th-round pick out of Ohio State, where he was named 2nd team All Big Ten last year, and he had a knack for making plays. You may remember that big pick 6 in the Cotton Bowl. Ramon, what do you want to see from Sawyer tonight?
I want to see him be good in the run game. If he can hold the line of scrimmage, I think the rest of his game comes. There is an expectation here when you play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you stop the run, nobody runs on you, and that's what he has to do more than anything, and be in a position to where when his number is called, and his number is called tonight is his night. You have no TJ, you have no Alex, you have no Herbig at all. He has to be able to show that he can go the distance with those guys up front and also just make a splash in the impact, man. He comes from a big school. His team won the national championship with him playing a big part in that. So when you have guys like that, the expectation that they answer that call, because again, you go back to what Pittsburgh believes in, a standard, and it's very high for guys like him that come into this organization.
Well, you know, I'm really excited about this next segment. It's called the Immaculate Prediction Challenge, where fans can answer predictive game questions and win big by playing along on the Steelers mobile app. Tonight's prizes include a Derek Harmon autographed jersey, which is pretty cool. No, you cannot have it, Ramon. It might fit you better than me. But what do you think? Tonight's question is over-under, total yards, 260.5.
AJ, I'm going over. It's the preseason. You got to have some guys in Caleb Johnson and Kenneth Gainwell that have to run the ball. The big boys up front are in a position to where they got to show that they are somewhat gelling and meshing together right now. So I'm taking the over simply because, AJ, I'll be honest, it's a preseason game. These types of things have to happen. You got to dominate the line of scrimmage.
I like it. I'm going to go with you. But also where I would like to go, and we want Steelers fans to go. Steelers Nation, the team is headed to Ireland, and we want you to be there with us. It's a chance to win a trip to Dublin presented by Aer Lingus. That includes game tickets to the Steelers versus Vikings at Croke Park, airfare and hotel accommodations for two. Enter now at Steelers.com or scan the QR code on your screen. And as we check out the People's Natural Gas countdown clock, People's Natural Gas, an essential utilities company, game time is drawing ever near. When we come back, we're going to focus on the running back group and show you some new league technology when it comes to measuring first downs. BetMGM Steelers Kickoff is presented by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand by it, so you can stand in it. And earlier, Missy Matthews interviewed the quarterback atop the Steelers depth chart, Aaron Rodgers, of course, but he's not making his debut. Mason Rudolph will get the start tonight, so we asked her to do some double duty, and she interviewed Rudolph just moments ago.
All right, Mason, the preseason, nothing new to you. How does it feel to be back in the black and gold officially, though?
Feels awesome. It's it's a heck of a group of guys, a heck of a roster that Omar Khan's put together. A lot of good friends, and we're ready to go play tonight.
What do you make of the young offensive line and some of those guys that are going to play tonight? Where have you seen growth among them?
They've had a great camp. Their communication's been great. They're young, but there's a lot of maturity on that offensive line, and I'm excited to work with them tonight.
All right, Mason, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Missy. Now, Ramon, Mason Rudolph has had some ups and downs in his career. He was here in Pittsburgh, then went to the Titans, where you had a front row seat last season. What does that say about him wanting to return to Pittsburgh?
I think it's awesome for a guy given this opportunity right now. You understand where you are playing behind a guy like Aaron Rodgers. You find yourself in a position where you know he's prepared, you know who he is, you know what this organization's expectations are also. And I think it just settles this group when you have Mason behind the center in these type of moments right here. So I'm excited to see what this second time around does for him, and also just how the guys respond to his ability to command that huddle. There's a lot that goes on, play to play, game to game, and having a guy that you can trust. And as I said, it's no knock on the young guys or rookies, but when you have a veteran that know what they're doing, it makes the game flow a little bit better.
Well, another position that is obviously very significant for the Steelers is the running back position. Jaylen Warren atop the depth chart, right beside him, beneath him, if you will, Kenneth Gainwell, and then they drafted Caleb Johnson in the third round. What do you think about that group?
It is a real competition when you look at the expectation of those guys, man. As we said earlier, running the football matters a lot, and you got to be able to establish that somewhat in the preseason, because the AFC is one of the toughest divisions in the National Football League in general. Having a young guy in Caleb Johnson be behind and have a high expectation for him too, along with Kenneth Gainwell, I think it's appropriate that these two guys are in a competition with one another too. You're not just handing something off, because again, the guys that have played this position historically have led the way on the ground, and of course the compliment that it gives to the passing game is something that is absolutely amazing. So I'm excited for what those guys look like, and honestly how long they can tote the ball too.
Yeah, well, we asked the fans earlier in the show which position group they were most excited about seeing in this first preseason game, and Jordan York says offensive line. There you go, Ramon. Ali says tight ends. All right, Ali. And Steve says the D-line, the defense. It's always defense.
It's always
Steelers,
defense.
right?
I mean, it's Pittsburgh. It's Western PA. It's what we do, man. And he's not wrong. That's a lot of good competition and talent over there also.
Well, here's the People's Natural Gas countdown clock again. People's Natural Gas, an essential utilities company. When we come back, Missy Matthews catches up with Coach T to get his final thoughts prior to the game. Gear up with game day necessities at the official Steelers Pro Shop located at Acrisure Stadium. Get the latest sideline gear, jerseys, terrible towels, memorabilia, exclusive merchandise, and custom items direct from the team store or online at shop.steelers.com. Well, after a offseason like no other, Mike Tomlin is just minutes away from coming onto the field with this revamped team. But before he does so, he caught up with our Missy Matthews just moments ago.
All right, Coach, what's the plan tonight in terms of quarterbacks? We know we won't see Aaron Rodgers or Will Howard tonight.
definitively you're going to see Mason Rudolph to start, and then we'll give way to Skylar. And really just depending on how the game unfolds, you also may get a chance to see our new acquisition as well.
Derek Harmon is the only rookie listed with the first team on the depth chart. What have you seen from him in Latrobe, and what do you want to see from him tonight?
He certainly hadn't been a fish out of water. His talent is very evident. He's adapting to some of the nuances of the game, and so it's a big night for him, man. All of these opportunities are for him and the other rookies, and so we just want to see him be himself. We want to see the talents that he's displayed in a practice setting show up in the stadium.
You like adverse situations to put your team through. Mother Nature might help you out. How does that help with a young team and knowing a lot of the young guys could be playing tonight?
I just think the more circumstances you can be in is growth associated with that. You get an opportunity to get to know them. They get an opportunity to know themselves. We're an all-weather sport. We're just a little bit allergic to lightning.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Missy. That interview was presented by PNC Bank, the official bank partner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ramon, who are you most excited about seeing as far as the young faces on this roster right now?
AJ, I'm going to do the opposite of what they think I'm going to do. I'm not going offensive line. I am going Y.A. Black out of Iowa.
Okay.
Logan Lee with them also. Just seeing guys like him flourish, there is a level of expectation here at the defensive tackle position. So I'm excited to see the young fella finally get some shine in this one and just prove what I saw from him last year as I was watching his scouting tape. The young man has it, is what I'm telling you, and I'm looking very much forward to seeing how he performs inside an NFL stadium.
Him along with Derek Harmon, that's going to be a terrible duo.
It is, and I'm looking forward to seeing how excited and just them guys grow up. They got great veterans in front of them, and they can't wait to get to it, I'm sure.
Well, that's all the time we have on the BetMGM Steelers Kickoff Show. When we return, Bob and Charlie will have your kickoff.